Hannah, seeing you lie about Tony, I was like, she could do anything in
Oh, yeah.
Which lie about Tony?
all of it.
I'm still here, so I didn't even.
Hey guys, welcome to the Geedunk. Today we're talking episodes 9 and 10 of The Mole.
That's right, the finale.
Yeah, season 2.
Oh, man.
Well, it's been an interesting 2 episodes.
Oh, it totally was. I was like, holy shit.
So
I mean, both our choices went out the window after episode 9. We're like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
real quick. But it picks up where it left off. Hannah has to make the decisions, and even when we're wrong about that, she takes the money.
Yeah, I mean, it was a toss-up. I said I hope she takes some money, but I figured she'd probably go for the exemption, but no, she didn't, man. She surprised us.
Ryan's kind of flabbergasted. She's like, what person at this point would not take the exemption?
Unless
2
they're the
people
mole.
going home? Yeah.
But it's like, why would the mole add 20,000? So when she said that, I was like, what the hell is she talking about? Because why the hell would the mole add 20,000 to the freaking bank, right?
To throw suspicion off, man.
Yeah, I guess.
The mole's trying to be that deep.
Yeah, maybe.
So, yeah, that was kind of surprising. Hannah does the right thing and adds money to the pot.
Yeah, man. And that, like I said, it was pretty surprising, man. But then she lets everybody know, on top of that, this is the last exemption opportunity. So not only did she not get the exemption, she threw away the last opportunity to get one. Right? So
yeah. And then they roll into the quiz.
At this point, I don't remember this quiz. It was the quiz after this. But yeah, I'm pretty glad she took the money. And then when they said, I think it was Muna, or was it Ryan who said, I can't believe she took the money. I'm like, yeah, I can't either. But then like Josh was saying, I really thought about it. And I was like, yeah, that would be very moley. Because then it would take the suspicion off of her. So I get it.
Well, I don't know how you cannot remember this quiz, because this quiz is the one that eliminated all the picks.
Exactly, eliminated both our picks.
So they get to Ryan, and she's wearing red, and her screen turns red.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have worn the red.
Dude, when her shit went red, I was like, holy crap. I was like, is Ryan just stupid? Because the one time that we really saw her screw shit up, when she was like, oh yeah, that guy took the freaking dumpling when he clearly took the chicken, and then Hannah saw him. It's like, why would she have done that? To me, I was like, didn't even make any damn sense at this point. I was like, man, she just threw us all off. And of course, editing's got a lot to do with it, right?
It could be editing. Maybe she did make it more obvious and editing played it so no one saw or something. I don't know.
But at that point, it's maybe they think Ryan was an idiot, you know? Saying what the hell?
Yeah, when I saw Ryan go, I was like, oh, well, crap. Because I had really gone all in on her, but then I was just a little bit worried about the whole dances with cats. I can't talk.
Don't F with cats.
Don't F with cats. Come on.
No, okay. Start over. Start my segment over again.
Starting over. No, we're good.
Come on. You guys make all the time.
Ryan gets eliminated, so I'm like, okay, time to move on to Deanna, plan B. And then they're like, Deanna? And she's like, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Both picks.
And I was like, and that happened, I was like, what the hell?
What happened to all the cat stuff?
Yeah, whoever, and so it's not our fault. All our viewers who are like, oh, hey guys, there was a tigers and this, and they don't have a cats, and we're like, yeah, we buy that shit. And then we got thrown off, so that's not our fault.
Yeah, I mean, wow, a twofer on this one. I was like,
that's crazy.
I feel like there's more moles in our comments than on the show at this point, because they're all trying to deter us in different ways.
Yeah, it felt like it.
So at this point, I'm like, I don't even know where to go from here. You know, I'm like, I guess I'm back on the Muna Michael train. You know, we said that from the get-go. So I'm like, all right, it's one of these two. Who's it going to be?
and I thought the same thing, man. I was like, all right, back to these two. Right? Because we're like, at least our original guy is still a suspect. So.
Yeah, and then everyone starts giving their sob story of why they deserve to win.
Right. And then Muna's like, holy shit, Sean's story, man. She's like, he really wants to win this money. You know?
Well, that's at the very end, but Sean does say some weird stuff because he's like, I need the money. Yeah. And I'm like, why are you a stay-at-home dad if you need the money? How about you go get a job?
Yeah. Because he's like, some people need it, but some people want it, but some people need it. I'm one of the guys that needs it. I don't know about y'all. You know, it's like, bro, everybody's got their own reason of why they say they're going to need it, right? But yeah, but no shit. Go get a fucking job.
You need money, go work.
Right.
The other weird thing, he's like, I did it so I could give my wife a career, and she's a dental hygienist. And nothing against dental hygienists, but they don't make much money.
No,
my brother's a dental hygienist, he's poor as hell.
Right.
So.
Right.
I mean, I thought this was kind of funny, like how they're all just, you know, telling their little sob stories and everything. And then my whole thing is I'm not believing anything anyone's saying, or I'm like, okay, everyone has a sob story. Everyone wants the money. Everyone needs the money. So I wasn't really like being swayed one way or another based on these stories. But I was just like you guys at this point in time after Deanna and Ryan go, all right, it's Muna and Michael, I guess. And like throughout all this whole episode, I'm like, I'm watching them say different things in that challenge. And I'm like, it's that one. And then I'm like, ooh, no, it's that one. And I just kept going back and forth. And then I kind of, at this point in time, thought maybe Hannah, because she had
I was starting to get on the Hannah
though.
train too. And I was kind of rooting for her too, because she really changed. So I'm like, all right, Team Hannah.
Well, and I'll tell you, and you know, and at this point, before those two left, it's 4 on 2, 4 women, 2 guys. I'm like, so the likelihood of it being a woman is probably pretty damn good, right? And then our top 2 women got booted off, and then it's 2 and 2, and it's like, shit, that just totally screwed everything up.
But then being Hannah, it would make sense for her to take the money because she wouldn't be risking like being eliminated. Because like that was one of the things they were thinking about. They're like, why, when you know 2 people can be eliminated, why would you put $20,000 and not get the exemption? Because if you're not right, that's a huge percentage chance that you have to be eliminated.
That's a bold move from her. I was kind of actually hoping Hannah got eliminated after that, because I'm like, serves you right for not doing the smart thing here. But
Right.
you know, she survives this round.
Yeah.
And yeah, this
Which is why I thought she might be the mole.
Yeah, and all this yeah, exactly, and all this sob story kind of stuff. I just wish someone would be like, I'd like to put a pool in, or like maybe I need a Corvette or something. You know, like say something like normal. Everyone's like, oh, my parents, and I'm sure that's true and stuff. But like some people feel like they're kind of reaching, trying to go, oh, what about me? What can I say that, you know, is convincing?
Right.
I just want like I could use a pool.
I like to buy one of them new cyber trucks. You know?
And this is like, these 2 episodes have a lot of filler stuff. Like they always are opining who the mole is, and it just kind of goes round and round and round, you know, over these next 2 episodes. But then we get to the next challenge, which is like Mission Impossible. You got to hoist someone up and figure out which artifact is the right one.
Dude, right off the bat, when Michael's big ass is like, I want to do it, and then Muna was like, oh, yeah, let's let Michael do it.
I thought that was very shade
I
from
was like,
Muna.
huh?
Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought Muna's like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
gave me
dude.
the in, let's go with this. It's
Oh,
a
dude.
stupid idea, so let's roll with it.
And that's exactly what I thought. I was like, why would you want the biggest freaking dude?
Yeah.
And these women are tiny. I mean, Sean's not a big dude. I'm like, this is going to be hard as hell for all 3 of you to carry this big guy.
Yeah, and he's like, I
You
got
know?
the most reach. I'm like, you can also knock the most crap over.
Right, exactly. Like, you should have picked freaking Muna or damn Hannah.
Yeah,
you know?
I was thinking Muna because she looks pretty small.
Yeah, exactly. To me, that was just crazy. And then everybody agreed on it. And I was like, and then of course, you know, I was like, why the hell are all 3 of these people agreeing on this shit?
Yeah, they're like, let's go with it. Like at this point, everyone's trying to like draw suspicion to themselves. So
Yeah, it
I
was
don't
nuts,
know.
dude. Like, this just threw me off.
That was the funny thing, like Josh was saying, like this whole challenge, it's like everyone really but Hannah in this challenge is just trying to sabotage it. Like the other 3 are all trying to sabotage it.
Yeah.
Michael's literally just like letting his body like hang there and like, can I knock this over? It's like practically he was reaching to knock things over.
Yeah, dude, he wasn't
And then
lifting
the other
his
one's
legs
pulling.
up, lifting his arms up.
At one
nothing,
point,
man.
he lifts like one of the vases with his feet, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everyone I think is just like, hey, I'm getting close in. I got to draw attention to myself because I'm not the mole and I want to win.
Right,
so
right,
everyone's
exactly.
doing crazy stuff at this
Yeah, it
point.
was nuts. Well, and then to kill me about this thing too was like, because they made it sound like if you knock 3 off, the alarm goes off and you don't win shit. So I thought they were like zeroed out. They weren't going to win anything.
I wasn't sure on that, so I was like, do they get anything here?
Yeah, because the way Ari explained it was like, it seemed like you lose. Like if all 3 alarms go off, it's over. But then but then they got to keep the one they got. And I was like, oh, well, shit. I was like, that's kind of shitty. I was like, it should have been over. Like, you knock all 3 off, the alarms go off. Like, you should have been game over. You shouldn't have gotten any money.
I thought it was a weird challenge, too, because, like, what is the point of all those images up there besides the monkey?
Yeah.
So I thought, like, I'm like, well, that's just kind of easy.
Right. Well, and then the one thing I noticed, too, that kind of threw me off on Michael, because Michael was like, yep, they all look the same. But if you notice, the one that had the right freaking symbol on it also had a white background on the monkey. The other monkeys didn't have any background. It was just clear. So I was like, the one that was correct had a white background. All 4 of the pictures had white backgrounds. That monkey had a white background. The correct monkey that they chose on the one had a white background, but the other monkeys just all had clear backgrounds. I was like, dude, look for the other monkey with the white background, and you're probably freaking good to go. But it's like they didn't catch it. And Michael didn't even catch that when he was saying, oh, no, they all look the same. And I was like, so that threw more shade of Michael to me.
You sure it's not like your TV or something?
No, man, I'm telling you, go back and look at it. That monkey had no shit, a white background on the stand.
Yeah, I didn't see no white background.
See, then you're like Michael, man. But there was a white background on it, and I was like, oh shit, and all the pictures had white backgrounds. I was like, okay, now we're on to something here.
Yeah, maybe you got that 8K TV or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, Michael, so that threw me off on Michael. I'm like, bro, that one clearly looks different from the rest, not only because of the tail, but also it's got fucking white behind it, and the others didn't. So
yeah, well, the other interesting that happens, like, Sean's like, hey, man, you're pulling. You intentionally did that. He makes a big deal out of it. So and I was pretty smart of him to do.
Totally smart of him. He was like, one of you guys just yanked the hell out of it.
And then Muna, like, just has, like, this smirk, like, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and she was like, oh, sorry about that. And I was like, dude.
You pull it so hard, you knocked over another vase.
Okay.
That was super aggressive.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Muna is pretending not to know how the pulley system works.
It was just, it was like you said, it was like all 3 of these were just trying so hard to make the others think they were the mole.
Yeah.
It was just like throwing the rest of us off.
Anytime someone sabotages something, no one has a reaction like they're sad to see the money go or anything.
Well, right, exactly. Well, and then, I think it was after this that freaking Sean makes the comment. He's like, at this point, he's like, I don't care about building the pot up anymore. I just want to freaking make people think I'm the mole. I was like, oh, so it can't be Sean. He's like, he's still on that trip.
Well, Ari did ask, like, would you rather win or the money is important? And I think some people were playing with that.
Oh, absolutely they were. Yeah. The whole time Sean knew he wasn't freaking getting the damn money, right? So
yeah, so then they get to the next quiz, and this time it's only one person getting eliminated. And the other thing is, like, everyone's making, like, I think it's this person. And no one is suspecting Hannah at this point.
No.
Like, no one's saying Hannah. So I'm like, that's kind of interesting that Hannah's in this. No one's saying her, so maybe she's not doing a good enough job here, drawing attention to herself. And then they announce Hannah's going home. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I was like, damn.
And I was, like, starting to, like, pay more attention to her, and then she got booted off. So I was like, oh, okay, well, crap.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, right before she got eliminated, she said, I went all in on Muna. So then, and when her screen turned red, I was like, so Muna's not it. I was like, so literally the first episode, I'm like, it's Ryan or Deanna. And then they go. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's back to these 2 guys. And then I was like, oh, but then I was like, no, maybe it's Muna, because Hannah was like, she was really tugging on it. So I was like, maybe it's Muna. And then I was like, but maybe Hannah's the mole because she took the money. And that is such an obvious mole thing, but not a mole thing. So then Hannah gets eliminated, but says that she went all in on Muna. So now Muna's out. So it's back to Sean and Michael. And I'm like, geez, my emotions were all over the place.
Well, and that's according to editing, right? Editing showed us her saying that, but who knows what she really would have chose, right? So at the same time, you're like, all right, editing's showing us her saying this, but did she really choose Muna, right? So
well, Ryan, I think, was one of the people in Sean's video. Like, they saw the video thing. So, like, she must have, got off Sean at some point.
Yeah, maybe so.
Like, something must have happened. Like, maybe Michael, when she teamed up with him, maybe she got more on Michael, and that was her downfall. I would love to kind of see that as it goes along, like how these people are voting. I also would like to see at the end if they go, who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? Who do you think it is?
That's what they should have done. Yeah. When all those people came back at the end, they should have done that.
And I wonder if it's just, like, really obvious to them, and like, they don't get this editing trickery, so maybe they're like, yeah, I knew it was freaking Sean the whole time,
right?
And maybe he made a mistake that they edited out or something like that at some point. Like, how do you know that? Like, that hasn't been revealed yet.
Well, it did show all of them say, oh shit, that was excellent, Sean did a great job, we didn't think it was him.
Because the thing about Sean, at one point he said it could be Muna because she messed up the telephone game. And I'm like, that's not known that she messed up the telephone game.
Right.
The telephone from the first mission, I feel like he was like the mastermind in that.
So you chose the cash, right?
I 100% chose the cash.
Or it could just be that was him saying, I'm pretty damn sure it was Muna that messed up the telephone
maybe,
game, right? So,
but he did say that, and that got me wondering. I was like, did he just reveal something there? Because Muna lied about that, and we don't know, like, they don't know who it is, but... Yeah. Anyways, Hannah's eliminated, so it's Michael, Sean, and Muna here. Final three.
Final 3.
Yeah. So Who are you thinking it is at this point?
At this point, like we all said, I'm thinking it's freaking Michael or Muna. I'm still not thinking Sean.
Yeah, me too.
Because
I didn't think Sean until the end.
Well, because in every one-on-one Sean had, he was always saying, "Hey, I want these fuckers to think I'm the mole.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do this and that."
It's almost like Sean was with, or the show was with Sean. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't just put that out
Right.
there like that if he was the mole. But
yeah.
this double bluff thing.
Oh, dude, but you got to look at it this way. The double bluff was to us viewers. So it's his one-on-ones where he's saying, I want freaking these guys to think I'm the mole, yada, yada, yada. So it's really, in that point, it's just really him just trying to throw us as viewers off, I guess. And I was like, holy shit, man, what a great job. It's like, God.
But then
like,
they
man.
go to the minefield challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Final 3. And then
this one, dude.
this one's a little weird too, because it progressively gets like more pieces. So it should progressively get harder.
Right. Well, and again, this is where Sean's telling us, hey, I've got to fuck one part of this up at least to make them think I'm the mole. And of course, he screws up the first section, right? The easiest part. So.
Yeah, and that one's like, it seems blatantly obvious what he's doing. Like, again, this is the easiest one. Everyone should know what's going on.
But he can blame it on Michael, because Michael's like, I think it's diagonals. He jumps diagonal. Yep, I'll take that.
Well, that's the thing. When someone says something stupid, you're like, I'm capitalized on this, and now I have my excuse. Why did he say that?
Oh, exactly.
Well, in this one, I feel like if I was the mole trying to sabotage it, I would have just sabotaged it accidentally, at least after the first level. The first level, I think I could have remembered, but the second two, I was like 2, 3, 4, left, right. I would forget after taking the second step. So I would have to trust other people to tell me what to do anyway.
Well, I mean, the first one was simple, but and then the second one, Michael, again, he's like, oh, I've got a good memory, and then he fucked it up at the end, so then you're really thinking it's him, like, oh, man, both Muna and Sean, at this point, Sean being the mole, telling him, nah, bro, you go left, and he's like, nope.
I'm trusting myself.
Yeah, I'm jumping right. When both the others were telling me left, I was like, holy, I'm like, okay, freaking maybe Michael is the mole here.
Yeah, and it's like, who's
man.
believing that you're right, that you're going to trust yourself here? So that was just like even weird for him to say that to the camera. I don't know if like the show that makes him say that or what, but I'm like, who are you fooling with that?
Yeah, exactly. And so much for your, and then after we found out the mole, it's just like, well, so much for you thought you had a good memory because you fucking suck. You know?
And then I expected like Moon to like step on the first wrong one, be like, I see how this game's being played, and then do that. But like, this is also kind of like interesting too, because like the third one also you earn the most money. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you kind of want that money to build the pot.
Right, exactly. I mean, because you earn as much off the third one as you earn off the first two together, right? So, yeah, that was crazy. I mean, like, how Michael screwed that second one up, though, I was like, dude, that's so suspicious. I was like, there's no way in hell this guy, I was really zeroing in on him again at that point, you know? I was like, and then kind of find out he's just an idiot. It's like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, I mean, as the mole, like, he sabotaged some things, but he did get the greatest amount of money in there. So, I mean, at least the challenge was successful in getting the greatest amount of money in there.
But I mean, he cut out 50% of the cash they could have won on that, I guess. So that was
well, Muna's the one who gets the money because she's successful in the third one, so she's the only one that's earning money at this point.
That's true. Yeah.
So, you know, kudos to her for getting that money on the hardest one.
Right. Exactly.
So, and I think at one point Sean does try to misdirect her on that final one.
He was like, maybe it's diagonal, and then she was like, no, it's straight. And Mike was like, yeah, it's straight. And then she went straight, and then so at one point he did do that.
So she gets the money, and then they bring everyone back together. Final quiz. They have dinner with Ari, and everyone's making their play who they think it is. And yeah, at this point, I still don't think it's Sean.
I don't either. But the crazy thing is, man, like it's showing some of the questions. It's like, hey, what college did they go to, and this and that. And I was like, oh shit. I was asking, like, unless you actually sat down with them and had good personal conversations with them, you're screwed. At that point, I was like, man, that was crazy.
I do think they have more personal conversations, like off camera at the end of the night.
Oh, of course. So. Yeah. But if you didn't have those conversations with certain people, like if you weren't one of the ones that had those conversations with a mole, then you're kind of at a big time disadvantage at that point.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird that it comes down to like how focused you are on that, because like you could say like, oh, I know it's this person, but oh man, I didn't pay attention to those details or something like that. So
right.
Well, if you're thinking it's a specific person, I guess you try to figure out as much about that person as you know, because I'm sure they asked.
That's true.
We only saw that question this time. They probably asked those typical or similar questions, you know, previously, like to give them the idea that they need to kind of get to know personal facts about who they're thinking.
Yeah.
So they announce who the mole is.
Yeah,
It's Sean.
dude.
I was like, man, he played that so
Amazing,
well.
dude. What a freaking awesome mole. Well, then, and then Ari's like, okay, you both picked the mole right, but one of you won it by 2 questions. So at that point, I'm like, okay, it's got to be Michael, because Michael was the one right afterward. He sat down with Sean, had that long conversation with him. Those two seemed to gel a little bit better than Sean.
But he only told him about stuff he already knew.
Well,
he didn't like find out. Oh, really?
From what we saw on camera, who knows what else they talked about during that conversation? So,
well,
right?
who knows what else they talked about any other time?
Well, yeah, that's true. But at that point, in my mind, I was like, okay, Michael's got it in the bag. I was like, I guarantee Michael's the one that won. And when he chose Michael, it didn't surprise me at all.
Well, and remember, Muna and Michael were in that theater. So, maybe that was very convincing, and that's what did it for them, and they stuck with that, and that's what kept them to the end.
Yeah, maybe.
So, but yeah, I'm just shocked it was Sean. I mean, he did such a good job at the double bluff. It seemed obvious, and he's talking to the camera. He's exactly telling the audience what he's going to do, and he's the mole the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, he fooled the shit out of all us.
And he's the one playing dumb. It's very obvious. He's like, let's take a clue, guys. Let's take it. And they're like, quit trying to pretend you're the mole. And he's like, little do you know.
Exactly.
So, man.
What a great freaking job, man.
Yeah, and now Muna did say at one point, like, he was very bad at lying, but at one point there was like a switch flipped, and
awesome
I agree, and I was
thinking
thinking that, like, because like he got very good at lying all of a sudden.
Yeah, he did.
So
you could totally tell during that exemption challenge, he wanted everybody to think he was lying, right? He did a horrible job, just freaking played it up so shitty, and Muna's like a 5-year-old could tell he was lying. But then later on, man, he like with the Q thing, man, he was very convincing, right? So I was like, man.
He's also like steering the show. Like when the 3 of them are sitting down, he's kind of like driving the show. He's like, what do you think? And like this, I'll tell you what I'm thinking, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so it just seems like that'd be a weird choice to be the mole.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy, man. I was like, holy shit.
It worked.
That totally worked.
I mean, they're geniuses. They figured it out.
Right.
Yeah, and man, like Deanna and Ryan, I don't know.
That was crazy, man. I was like, man.
So, as a commenter said at some point in time, which is how we got put on Deanna to begin with, the show supposedly puts clues in there throughout the season to let us know who it is. What were the clues? They never told us what the clues were.
Yeah, I heard like sometimes they show it on YouTube. I don't know why they don't like build it into this, but like I think the problem with the clues is there was clues for everyone, but like Deanna's are very obvious because the cat thing where like, the stuff about Sean is not going to be obvious because you'd have to research Sean and figure out like how old is he, when's his birthday, this, that, and the other.
Right. But at the same time is the Deanna cat stuff, it was all tigers, right? And when you think of, tigers and Malaysia go hand in hand. So really the tigers are really just pointing to the fact that they're in Malaysia, right? So it was just,
it's your bias, Billy. It's your cat bias coming.
Cat bias. So it's another thing. It was kind of like a good way for production to throw us off, right? Like, oh, we're going to throw this little cat shit in there and see when he picks up and thinks it's her because of this.
And Deanna, well, I wouldn't say she never, like on that one where she's trapped in that room, she was doing some weird kind of stuff, but she played it pretty straight before that. And when she was put in a position to make a hard decision, she seemed to always kind of make the right decision, right?
She tried. I mean, she didn't do much to help anything, but I mean, I guess she tried.
She didn't seem like she was being deceptive intentionally and like, hey, you should have gone left, but you went right here.
Right,
so.
Yeah.
It's funny that you're changing your tune because last episode you said that Deanna, man, she's overplaying the claustrophobia.
I thought she was.
You were all in that she was sabotaging these challenges.
No, and I thought she was.
She didn't do too bad.
I didn't say she didn't too bad. I said I guess she tried. Her trying wasn't very good, I don't think. I don't think she contributed much to anything, but I guess she did try.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think she was like a strong, player that like was earning money for the thing. But I do feel like she played pretty honestly, though.
Yeah, so I mean, evidently her claustrophobia thing wasn't a joke, right?
And like her reactions always seemed kind of over the top. How much she cared, she'd cry on certain things. You're like, is this overacting? What's going on?
But I did love when Sean played up. Dude, I fucking love heights.
I don't know about trees.
I'm not scared of heights.
I've been on tall things too. That doesn't mean I'm okay with heights. Like I've been on roller coasters, stratosphere. That doesn't mean like, oh, that's nothing to me.
But the funny thing is, remember Sean? Because I even said that. Like, for as much as Sean said he was afraid of heights, he was booking it down.
Yeah, he went down pretty quick compared to Melissa, who was slow as hell.
Right, exactly. So I was like, for somebody who ain't afraid of heights, man, you're booking it down that damn thing. So, oh man, that was good.
I mean, that's what you want, right? You want to be surprised who the mole is, and they definitely did it for me here. So.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
So what'd you think about Michael winning, though?
I was fine with that. I mean, he, like I said, as soon as they said, they both picked the correct winner, that it's Sean, but one person by 2 points, I figured it was gonna be Michael. Because it showed them have that conversation together. I'm assuming Michael.
You already said all this.
I'm assuming Michael probably had one.
You already said all this.
I'm assuming he had more one-on-one time with him, so I assumed, all right, Michael's got it. So it didn't bother me at all. I was like, I was at that point. At that point, I wasn't invested in whether it was him or Moon. I didn't care.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really care either. I mean, I was still so frazzled from the Deanna
exactly.
Ryan thing.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, right? I don't think anybody really gave a shit who wins. It was really more about who the fuck's the mole, right?
And you know what the funny thing is? Like our poll, I think Sean was the lowest.
He was. Sean was the lowest on our poll.
I have to look at it again. Maybe people changed or more people came in. But like at the time, at the end of episodes 6 through 8, he was the lowest on the poll.
Yep.
Now, I couldn't like label them all out there, but of the individual ones that were out there, he was the lowest.
No, Sean was the lowest last time I looked.
So he fooled a lot of people.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, dude, I was like, wow, kudos, Sean. Damn.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on this. Like, I really was just thrown off that it was Sean. I mean, I think at some point in time in like our second review video, I said maybe it was Sean, or it was maybe in the first review video, but then like everybody just like talked me out of it, and I was like, yeah, okay, you guys are right, it's not Sean. So like I was pretty surprised it was Sean, but so yeah, I didn't care who won after that.
Yeah,
we all had sob stories, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? I don't think anybody was invested in who wins. We're all just invested in who the hell the mole is, right? Trying to figure it out.
Yeah, for the most part, I care more about the mole than the winner.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure most viewers are probably the same way, right? So.
Yeah, no one's guessing who's winning. Everyone's guessing who the mole is. But I wonder what the mole kind of gets for doing this. And I'd like to see more incentives for that.
Yeah, so I tried looking it up, and like, I couldn't find anything that said what the mole gets. Most people were saying they assume that the mole just gets like a good, paycheck for free, being on the show. So. But somebody did mention that, and it would be cool, like all the money that got sucked out of the pot, if the mole got to win all that, that'd be great, right? Because
I'd like to see the mole get penalized for every time someone guesses that's the mole, then that comes out of his pocket too, or her pocket. Yeah, because that's the whole point, right? Is to go like under the radar and do that.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be
so
great.
That would be cool. Maybe they need to take away the exemptions, because I feel like the exemptions artificially make the mole's job easy, because that's an easy play, like especially where Neesh drained the entire pot.
Right, exactly.
And like Sean tried to take credit for that, and he said, like, I'm going for that exemption if it exists. And like, I get that probably did influence people, but it's just such an easy thing for someone to throw the whole pot under.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that makes me wonder too, because like, yeah, Sean he didn't really do things like that. And so there are ways, I guess, to kind of figure out who it is based on
and we were kind of like, because I remember you even mentioned it, like, why the hell did Sean say that? When it happened, it was like, why is Sean saying that he was, that he would go for the freaking exemption, and he kind of get everybody riled up about that, and now we know why.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he played well, and good on him. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good, man.
It would have been a little disappointing probably if it was Ryan, and everyone guessed her. I don't know if we influenced anything in the poll, but like, you want to be surprised. You don't want it to be the person you most suspect.
Even though you kind of do, right? You're kind of hoping that you should.
You want to be right, but
you're kind of hoping you got it, but then at the same time, it feels good when you're surprised like crazy, man. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was just bad when both of them got eliminated the same thing.
Oh, that was
like,
nuts,
okay.
Yeah, that was nuts. Oh man, well there you have it, folks. That is the Mole season 2 down. And like I said, it was the first time I watched this show. I fucking loved it, man. I thought it was great. And I'm definitely looking forward to season 3. I hope they do this again. But hey, you guys influenced us. I don't know how much we influenced y'all, but some of y'all influenced the hell out of us when it came to freaking Deanna and stuff. And we appreciate it. It was a good time chatting with y'all. We love it. Let us know what y'all thought, and hit that like and subscribe, and we will check y'all at our next review.
There you go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Well, what the heck is that? What the heck is going on?
Oh, man.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I just did peace, and that came up.
And balloons came?
No idea.
What the hell just happened?
That was crazy, man. Did you see the balloons?
I did, but I don't know how I did it.
Can we do that?
I was just doing this.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
What the hell happened?